Question 28. The graph of the function of y equals sine of x has been transformed to create a new graph. The range of this new graph is -4 to 4, and the zeros are x equals k times pi over 2, where k is an integer. Write the equation that corresponds to the new graph. So to start this question, first thing I'm going to do is actually just draw sine, just to get an idea or to recall what sine looks like. So we may recall that sine has a period of 2 pi. So I'll just label pi 2 pi. And sine has an amplitude of 1. So it goes up 1 and down 1. And lastly, important part about sine is increasing through the center. So sine starts off at the center, and then it's increasing. So at pi over 2, it reaches 1, goes back down to a 0. That's only half a period. Then at 3 pi over 2, it goes down to -1. And then at 2 pi, it has completed its full cycle. So we'll just draw this quickly. So this is one full period of sine. So in black, y equals sine of x. So now the new graph has a range of -4 to 4. So I should have thought about that previously, but my range of -4 to 4 basically is giving me an idea of what my new amplitude is. The positive part about it is it's still centered on 0. So this graph still has a center of 0, and it has an amplitude. If it goes from -4 to 4, it has an amplitude of 4. So that is the first piece of information used. The second part are the zeros. So the zeros, k times pi over 2. So that means we have a 0 at 0, but then we have a 0 at pi over 2. And then we'll have another 0 at pi. So that is different than the graph we have. Basically, this graph is shooting way up, coming down, shooting way up, and coming down. Now, this is probably not as accurate as I'd like, but right, it shoots up as far as 4. But I think I can convince you at least that the period to go through one full cycle, because there's a 0 at every pi over 2 instead of every pi, the period of this new graph is pi. So I think that's enough information to do this question. There's no mention of any type of horizontal shift or anything. So what do we have? We have A, and now we want to figure out B. Remember, B is 2 pi divided by your period. So if we substitute in our period, that's 2 pi divided by pi. So that gives me a B value of 2. And as I said, there doesn't seem to be a horizontal shift. And then the center's still on 0, so we don't have to worry about D. Right now, if I want to, the center's on 0, so D is 0. Is basically what that says. So what's my new equation? I always have a y in an equation. So it's y equals, my new amplitude is 4. I'm still talking about sine. And now I substitute in my value of b. So it's 2. My variable is still x. And I think that's what we're looking for. So here is my answer. Again, if we want to explain this constant, it's a vertical stretch by a factor of 4. So that's what this one represents. Or, it's amplitude from -4 to +4. And this is a horizontal compression by a factor of 2. The graph is compressing horizontally, so the period went from 2 pi to pi.